Right guys, welcome back. Just going to do a bit of a how-to video on making tarmac. I know most people use the filler and paint method, but I found, I've worked out a way that you can make realistic tarmac rather than like concrete structure. And it looks a little like this. This is Mark 1 attempt. This is ballast and black paint. But this one, this is pretty good. This is bird sand and acrylic paint. I've done this a few months ago now. I mean, it's still impressionable, but you run your finger over it, it's quite smooth. So I'm going to show you how to make some in this how-to video. First of all, you're going to need a pot, some bird sand, and some black acrylic paint and some white acrylic paint. The reason for the white acrylic paint is if you look at a road, it's not actually black, it's more of a really dark grey. I've also got this little paint stirrer. They come with a pot of, they come in a pack with some mixing pots for my airbrush. So first things first is we're going to mix up some paint. Okay, so you go for a really dark grey. Okay, I'll see you in just a sec. Okay guys, so I've mixed up some paint. I don't know how well the camera's going to pick it up actually, but it's a really dark grey. It's not black, but it's almost like a graphite colour. Okay, so with the bird sand, I didn't realise it at first, but this one had a higher quantity of like crushed shells in it than what I used last time. You might be able to see them just there. So what I've done is I filtered it through an old, you're going to laugh, an old walking sock. So I got from all this quite nice consistency out of that quite coarse. Let's turn the camera into the light a bit. And from that quite coarse stuff, which is thicker than 00 gauge ballast. So to get it nice and thin, I just sift it a bit. Top one over there. Right, so basically all you got to do, mix in a bit of sand. This will take most of it actually, because the benefit of using paint is that if you do knock it or whatever, you're not going to end up with a nice horrible white section like if you were to use filler, unless of course you put some paint in the filler. But you don't need to add any extra adhesives. All you've got to do afterwards is add on the road markings. So add a load of more sand. Let's pan out a little bit. So I don't know if any of you have actually ever used real tarmac, but it goes quite thick and blobby, especially if you used what they call cold mac. It's like a temporary patch. So once you get to this quite lumpy stage, you shouldn't see any sand apart from if it's caught in the lip there. So it should be quite nice and solid. And what you're able to do now is, if I tilt the camera down a bit, let's readjust this tripod. There you go. What you're able to do now is to plop it down. Try not to get any on the rails, of course. You're able to put it down and smooth it out. The benefit of this method is that you can go as thick as you want and it won't do any damage, do any harm, because the paint seals the sand in as you filler. It also acts, the paint is the adhesive as well, so going to need to mix up a load more of this, because this is only going to do this little section in the middle. The sections inside the rails, inside just there and just there, they are just a bulk bag of matchsticks which I've used my glue gun on, glued in place, and then I've used some of Railmatch's roof dirt to get it to that nice dark colour. To make it look like the rail inserts. On my previous test layout, I suppose you could call it, my Princetown layout, I did use some excess rail to make some check rails. Can't see it now, but basically all I'd done was put another section of rail in on the inside and then infilled it, but that was so much bloody hassle, I didn't bother on this layout. Okay guys, so it's taken a little while to get to this stage, but we're finally done. Ramp this side with a little ramp just there. That's going to go off to the engineer's yard, and right across the back up to there. I haven't gone any further than that as yet because I'm not sure what I'm going to be putting there as yet. But I've got out some of my resin buildings. Excuse me. That's Bramble's Cottage, a Hornby Scaledale item. Platt's General Store, and the Country Station are all Hornby Scaledale. That's a Metcalf card kit, low relief card kit, and at the back there a pair of Bachmann porter huts. So yeah, I'll give this a week now to dry. Sorry about the neighbour's dog. And then I'll do the road markings, which I think you're going to be intrigued as to how I'm going to be doing that. So I'll see you in a bit. Bye. Right guys, so yeah, the sand and paint mix is all dried, or near enough. So I'm just masked it up, ready for the road markings. The yellow tape that you can see is regular Taymia 6mm masking tape. The white is just regular household masking tape, and the purple is Mascol. I've got one pot of it here somewhere. It's in amongst all my other paints. I'll show it some other time. But yeah, so all I'm going to do at the minute is, instead of going straight on with white, because the base surface is black, I'm actually going to do is airbrush on some black paint. This is just some of the Vajello Model Air paint, black number 71.057. Just get in there close. There you go. So I'll just thin that down, 1:1 ratio. Although they say you can use it straight from a bottle, I would rather thin it down a bit. The reason why I'm doing black over black is so that if the paint for some reason bleeds under the masking, it'll only be a black bleed, rather than if I was to go over it with the white paint, I'd have white. So it'll give it a base coat for the white to stick to, but it'll also, if anything does go under, it'll also seal off the where the lines are going, so it'll make a neater line. I'm just trying to flatten it down a bit because I'd done this a day or so ago. It took about an hour and a half in total to try and mask all this down. So where I'd done it the other day, it started to raise a little bit, so I just press it all back down. So literally all I'm going to do is I'm going to airbrush on some of this black with my AB130 and compressor kit. There we go. I'm not going to go mad, give it a quick coat. So yeah, just use some regular Master Sticky or Mr. Sticky's acrylic spray thinner to go with it, because I've run out of the vajello stuff. So yeah, I'll give you another quick look once it's done, but I won't show you me spraying because it's not that interesting. It's just watching paint go on. So yeah, I'll see you in a sec. Okay guys, so the black's done. There's a couple of places where the tape's still lifting a little bit, but I'm hoping that as the paint dries and contracts a little bit, it will seal the gaps off. Try and show you one of them. Just over here. Try and angle it a bit better than that. I'm wearing a head torch at the minute to try and help get a little bit extra light. Yeah, it's not really zooming in very well. But yeah, so I'll give that till Saturday. It's Thursday evening now. I taped it up on Tuesday evening, so I probably shouldn't have taped it up quite so soon really, but hey ho. I don't mind touching it up a little bit with some just black paint afterwards and a brush. If I can get hold of some thinner taymia masking tape, I might put a strip over the white and then go over that again in black if I have to. But yeah, should look pretty good. I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but over here there, the camera's not picking up very well. Ah, there we go. Where these track pins are, I've actually put a couple of pieces of tape across. So when I spray this solid white line at the edge of the road, I've made a little ramp here. This is going to go off to the engine yard. So I'll have white dot, the dotted white line. So yeah. So I'll pick this up again on Saturday, give this time to cure. Right everyone, welcome back. It's now Friday evening, Friday night. The black acrylic paint is all set. The hum you can hear in the background is the compressor just getting ready. So what I'm going to be using is some railmatch universal primer. This is product number 506. It's just normal white primer. And use that rather than the vajello white acrylic, because being a primer, it's a thicker product, so the pigment is it's not as fine, so it won't take quite so long to build up over the black, I'm hoping. I'm just going to use some regular, this is Howes enamel thinner. So I'm just going to make some up in a little mixing pot, then I'll get spraying. So hopefully I'll be back in a couple of minutes to show you what it looks like, and then I'll show you again tomorrow when I take the masking tape off. Okay guys, so I've done the primer. Took about 20 minutes, half an hour. Put a couple of thin coats on. It's not overly white, but hopefully, if you can see, let's have a sneak peek. I'm gonna get the camera down there. Go back this little bit and this little bit. It's not looking too bad. I mean, it's a bit thick at the end here, but that's why the tape sort of is bending over. Let's have a sneak at this side. That's not looking too bad, and that's the little white markings that I said. I probably will have to touch up a couple of little bits with some black, just like I've got a little bit of overspray here. But yeah, I don't think it's looking too bad. So what I'll do is let it cure, and I'll see you again on, well, it'll be tomorrow. So yeah, fingers crossed. Okay guys, so we're done. I've let the white markings dry for a couple of hours. I've had to touch up a couple of little areas where the white is bled through, and it's just sort of got a little bit misty. The lines they're not perfect, but you know what, I'm happy with them. They look really realistic when you got step back a bit. When you look at them with a couple of cars and all that on, they don't look. Get another one going the other way. They don't look too out of place. You've got a crossing guard on there as well, waiting for this one to come in. So I'll show you what it's like with the train on the crossing now. So if I just move that one out of the way. Okay, so we've got the Totnes Castle on the crossing now. Sorry, I'm just taking it off the tripod and just resting against the edge of the baseboard now. The camera, that is. But yeah, it looks pretty good. The only thing I've got to do now is get the barrier kits and the warning lights. I mean, you got these ones here and the other halves. These are just old Hornby ones. The red markings on the white surround, it's probably not going to focus very well, but the red bits I actually put on myself because they actually come just as plain white surrounds, which don't look very good. So I'm going to be definitely getting the Heathcote level crossing lighting kit to go on here. They operate off of the infrared sensors, also by Heathcote. The kit itself only lets you control 1 or 2 bi-directional running lines. So because I got 3 lines, one line's going to be an up line, one line's a down line, and this is the transfer line into the siding. So I'm going to be having one of the sensors here, one of the sensors here, one about here, and one about here. You might say they're a little bit close to the actual crossing itself, but the trains are actually going to be running at dead slow speed. They're probably only going to be on speed setting 2 or 3, which is probably about 20 mile an hour in scale speed. Because they're either going to be accelerating out the station if they're on that line, or braking to come into the station if they're on this line. This line's going to be controlled via a switch, which is going to be mounted just down here, so that because this is only a transfer line / siding, it doesn't really need to be sensor controlled, and the fact that the kit can only do 2 lines most. I'm not sure if I'm going to get the barrier kit to go with it as well, because they only seem to work at the minute with these, or I've only seen people using the Heathcote system with these old Hornby type barriers, and ideally I'd like to either have 4 barriers, so one that way, one that way on each side, or have a full barrier so it goes right across and lifts up, but it means it's going to be a lot longer, and that'll all be mounted under the baseboard. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, I've still got a couple of the track pins in, just pull them out. They were just holding in the tape, but yeah, it doesn't look too bad. So hopefully by Christmas or for Christmas I'm going to get at least the lighting kit sorted, because it also comes with a warbler alarm. I'm not fond of them. I'd rather have a bell, but I might speak to them, see if they can't change it over. But yeah, so that's all for this video. I will be doing a layout update, possibly today, so that can be uploaded on at the same time. Okay, so I'll see you again soon. Cheers for watching. Please like and subscribe. If you want to make a comment, please feel free to.